Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Phoebe. In the fashion world, I feel like there tend to be two overarching schools of thought. Be the first to every trend to display your in the know-ness and you're a leader, not a follower attitude, or always remain timeless in your style to avoid any fashion faux pas or cringy old photos. Most of us fall somewhere in the middle, but in terms of style values, those are the two biggest and most polarizing. Many people have already criticized the toxicity of trend culture, and I've been very vocal on my channel about my issues with it too. But in my opinion, timeless fashion is kind of same but different. What I've observed is that the draw towards timeless fashion comes not so much from the appreciation of the pieces themselves, but more so from not wanting to fall behind or ever be out of style. Put in psychological terms, moving away from pain as opposed to towards pleasure. And just as being the first to every trend kind of has an undertone of like superiority complex, I kind of get a similar read from the extreme end of timeless fashion as well. A too cool for school attitude, if you will. Now, am I saying that everyone who prefers timeless pieces has a superiority complex? Absolutely not. I'm more so personifying the style than I am speaking about actual people. And trend culture has been crucified already, so I just want to play devil's advocate. There's a book called The Creative Act by Rick Rubin that has been super popular lately, and I really loved it myself. And one of the chapters that really stuck with me compares your creative projects to journal entries as opposed to complete works. He describes how when you're working on something creative, you will always continue to find more and more ways to update it and improve it as time passes. But the skill comes in recognizing when it's time to call it done. You could theoretically spend your entire life on one project and you will never run out of ways to update it because your point of view is ever changing. But then, by the end of your life, you only have this one project, and it only reflects the most recent version of you. The first 90% of your life can't even be seen in your work because you've just continued to override it with your newest perspective. Rick Rubin suggests that your whole collection of creative endeavors should be able to be looked back on like a journal, with each individual creative output being a reflection of one specific time in your life. This way, at the end of your life, your whole creative collection will be able to be read like a book, with each project being a chapter. And I feel like the same can be said about style. You can always dress timelessly so that you never feel any regret or never feel the need to update your work. Or you can follow your fashion whims and wear whatever you're truly drawn to at any specific time so that the story of your life can be seen through your outfits. What a shame to lose that for fear of each chapter eventually looking outdated. And these fashion whims don't necessarily have to reflect the trends of the times, but they should reflect what you're truly drawn to at any given time. When you look back on photos, seeing your old style is just one more way to be really transported back to that time in your life. How you felt, what your preferences were, what your identity felt like, memories you had in those outfits. I would almost compare it to smells. When you get a whiff of a scent that you haven't smelled in a really long time, instantly memories and nostalgia come flooding in. Maybe it's your great-grandma's perfume, or a smell that reminds you of the cabin your family went to when you were little, or you get a whiff of something that transports you back to the community market that was right around the corner from your childhood home. Whereas when you smell something that's been familiar to you your whole life and is still familiar to you, like Dawn dish soap, it just doesn't hold as much value. I feel like when you look back at a photo from yourself from like 2016, the outfit you're wearing holds so much meaning. In the photo, you could be standing in the same home that you still live in now. The camera quality is basically the same as it still is today. And you could be standing with a bunch of other adults who look pretty similar to how they do now. But the outfit you're wearing is a perfect time capsule that carries the very specific vibe of that time in your life. A vibe that comes flooding back to you when you see yourself in that outfit. What a sad world we would live in if everyone wore timeless fashion all the time. If everyone was pictured in a never-evolving universal uniform of button-ups and slacks, or knee-length skirts and blouses, or a t-shirt and jeans with no variation of cut or fit. Why is a time capsule of self-expression something to be avoided? Something else that dawned on me while pondering timeless fashion is that it wouldn't even exist without trends. Let me explain. What do you think of when you think of timeless fashion? A little black dress, jeans and a t-shirt, a two-piece suit? All of these were trends in their early days. The little black dress was created in the 1920s and was popularized by Coco Chanel. It was radical in nature because of its high hemline and because of the fact that it was black, which had previously been reserved for periods of mourning. It eventually was referred to as the dress that the whole world would wear. And if that doesn't describe a trend, I don't know what does. Jeans were originally made as men's workwear in the 1920s, but in the 1950s, Marilyn Monroe and other movie stars started wearing them, and they became a symbol of female empowerment. Denim was also a huge feature of the costume design in the 1950s movies, The Wild Ones and Rebel Without a Cause. Those movies made jeans a symbol of youth rebellion, so much so that college students started wearing them as a protest to the Vietnam War and as a protest to the formality of their institution. One newspaper even quoted that 90% of American youth wear jeans everywhere, except for in bed and church. And it's no surprise that the first female suit was revolutionary and challenging gender normative fashion. In the 1870s, an actress named Sarah Bernhardt was the first woman to sport a suit in public. And once again, Coco Chanel made them popular in the 20s by designing a woman's suit that kept some level of glamour and feminine fit. What once was a new trend is now considered very timeless and traditional. So not only did some of the most timeless pieces start out as trends, they started out as the biggest trends in the world. The words trendy and timeless are perceived as being complete opposite adjectives. So it's quite ironic that the bigger a trend gets, the more likely it is to be inaugurated into timeless fashion. It makes me wonder, if there were women back in the 1920s who wanted to stay timeless in the way they dressed, would they have avoided the little black dress and jeans and a woman's suit? Probably. So in conclusion, what is my problem with timeless fashion? Nothing really. I truly don't care what other people wear. But for the sake of this little video essay, my distaste for timeless fashion comes from its too cool for school undertone, its inability to represent the different phases of your life in any appreciable way, and from the fact that timeless doesn't even really mean timeless. It just means that it was trendy longer ago and is still worn a lot today. I hope you enjoyed this little video analysis, but as I say all the time, remember that there is literally no way to get fashion wrong unless you are dressing solely for the opinions of others. I would just encourage you to question the timeless pieces you consider purchasing just as much as you question the trendy pieces you consider purchasing. Make sure your decisions always come from your own heart and from what genuinely feels like you. I'll have a couple little resources that I used linked in the description below, and I'll see you guys in a few days for another fun video. Bye guys.